All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 2:30 on a Friday. You've given up work for the week because that's how you roll. Us too. It's all good. We're here for some under 5 curling at the Potomac Curling Club. It's the third draw of the 2023 Brunch Spiel. I'm Alan McNeil. I'll be doing most of your commentary today. Hello, that's me. Over here on the controls is Ken Clark. And we'll be bringing you all 4 games of fabulous under 5 curling action. Our feature sheet is Sheet B. What about second breakfast? From the Virginia and Triangle Curling Clubs, Bobbie Todd, Jay Theado, Matt Athayde, and David Zimmerman against Stiemmenwafle, more or less. From Buck City, Jake Santoro, Ryan Hooker, Ben Hallman, and Mark Steinhofer.
Not that we have 3 different teams with waffle names in this draw.
Yes, we do. They're flipping the coin now. We're not sure what the result is. We don't know. We'll let you know as soon as we do. While we're waiting for that, we'll let you know what's going on the other 3 sheets. Let You Hit and Roll from Team Potomac against Team O'Reilly versus Ardsley and Granite. That'll be over on Sheet A. Sheet C will be Potomac repping the Waffle House against the Broomies from Broonstones. And on Sheet D, Team Skebby from Mayfield will be playing against Stropwaffle, different team, from Broomstones.
That would be Stroopwaffle.
Stroopwaffle, you are absolutely correct. It is a very waffle-themed draw. And then we have an omelet. We're eating well this draw, basically. So we'll let you know about hammers and all that kind of stuff as soon as it is made obvious to us, which it has not yet. But we are getting ready to throw our first stones pretty much any second now. Looks to me as though somebody from Stiemmenwafle is preparing to throw a red stone, so that would tell me that What About Second Breakfast from Virginia Triangle has the yellow stones and the hammer in the first end. Over on Sheet A, Team O'Reilly is throwing yellow. Omelette You Hit and Roll has the hammer. They're throwing red. Over on C, yellow has hammer. I know yellow has hammer. I can't quite see.
Looks like Waffle House is red.
Yeah, Waffle House is red. Yellow has hammer.
Okay, so we actually have.
And on D, Team Skebby has hammer. They have red stones. Stroopwaffle from their Broomstones has the yellow stones. All right. So again, we'll be focusing on Sheet B for the most part. We'll give you updates on those other games as it goes around. Those of you who are on the YouTube, feel free to, if you're rooting for any particular teams, feel free to give them a shout out on that stream, ask any questions, anything like. We'll try to update you as events warrant. I am doing this one just Ken and I alone, so we're going to have a little harder time keeping up on the other sheets, but we will figure it out. And so that's where we stand. This is the, as we said earlier, this is the Potomac Curling Club presents the Brunch Spiel, which is sponsored by the United States Women's Curling Association, USWCA. It is an event for 5 and under curlers of all genders. Mixed curling, any gender combination is okay. For men, for women, any mix in between. No throwing orders, none of that kind of stuff. This is also a qualifier for the United States Curling Association Under 5 Championship on Spiel, which will be held later this season out on the West Coast. These teams are fighting. The team who wins the overall A event will be going to that championship, or at least will be eligible to. They don't technically have to. It's up to them, but I'm sure whoever wins it will take the chance. That is where we stand. All right, so where are we in our game? We are throwing the final yellow stone of the end. So that'd be What About Second Entrance lead Bobbie Todd through the second stone. And
beautiful draw.
It is drawing very nicely.
Slightly deep.
Just the touch deeper than T. So not perfect, but pretty darn good. Perfectly acceptable for this level. Stiemmenwafle second. Ryan Hooker is getting ready to throw. He's been asked to draw over. It looks like he's being asked to draw over on top of that other yellow stone.
Coming in a little light. Just a guard.
It's got to make the house.
Okay. Oh,
but actually, it's got to fully make the house.
Actually, the sweepers did a great job.
Pretty darn, yeah.
Yeah.
It is on the center line. It is second stone. Both of those stones on the center line are behind those two relatively tall guards. But as we can see, that's not stop and draws at all. There has been a lot of curl on this sheet today, and I see no reason to believe that's likely to change. David Zimmerman is asking Jay to execute a guard. Basically, he's like, there's been too many draws on this side. Let's block that off. This feels a little stiff to me. I don't think this is going to be a guard. I think this is going to be well in. It does not have enough curl to catch the forefoot. Is it going to stop? It chose to sweep that really deep, probably so it wouldn't be an in-off option, because they're pretty secure and they're like they like that one they've got in the back of the button. So Ryan Hooker being asked to open up the other side of the sheet. Draw line is definitely still there. Really shouldn't be any more complicated of a draw than what they were doing from our right to our left. So far, it's still pretty open. There is a guard on the left of the center line that might be a little bit of a problem, but probably not enough of one to really be an issue. It's getting good, solid delivery. Going out, it is going out kind of wide. Sometimes 5 and unders have issues going wide. This one looks like it was a little wide, but not horrible. And these stones are cutting something fierce this way. This is a case in point. He made it past the guard, but he is going to be very light. It is just another guard protecting that center.
Which is not what they want.
Which is not what they wanted in this case. So Jay Theado throwing his second of the end. Trying again to get that guard that they didn't get the first time. The weight on this definitely feels like it's less. The line's a little better too. How's that going to develop? It's cutting a little bit. Is he going to tap that red stone? He is. Uh-oh. Okay, tapped it up, did not tap it up enough to become shot, so not really a problem there. I don't think that's going to be an issue. Let's see what Stiemmenwafle has in mind. They're calling for Ben Hallman. Is that correct? Yes, Ben Hallman to draw around again from the left to the right. Stone is on its way. The sweepers are starting their scrub now. Starting a hard scrub, pretty good form. Past the guards, is it gonna tap their red? Yes, but not enough to matter. So that Yellowstone is still bravely clinging on to the back of the button as shot. What about second breakfast skip? David Zimmerman is considering using that stone as an in-off. Try to spin a second one in. Yeah, I think that's what he's calling. So he's asking Matt Athayde, his vice, to throw a gentle hit. I'm feeling it's probably board weightish based on the line. I feel like he'd even go a little gentler. He wants to cross the face of the red target stone and then use it to roll in basically to the button. It's kind of an awkward slide, but it gets the job done. I think he's roughly on line. They're not touching it. Is it going to cut enough? It's got to turn a lot. I don't think it's going to turn enough. I think it's going to flash on the outside. Yep, clean flash on the outside. Misses everything. Yellow still sits one. Buck City, Stiemmenwafle, Vice Ben Hallman getting ready to throw his second stone. He's basically being asked to play that draw in again. This time he's hoping to get in and either tap one of the stones or possibly just a clean draw in. Stone is on its way. It's in the house. Past all of the guards. Gentle tap. Nicely executed. That is precisely the shot. So red lies 1. And good luck dealing with that.
Yep. Not going to get that red one out of there.
Yep. So looks like David Zimmerman is basically saying, "Aye." So Matt, we're probably giving up a steal here. Put up something high, or he might be intending to use the stone that he's throwing up now as a raised target later. Hard to say for sure. Stone is on its way. The sweepers got on it immediately. That kind of tells me it was kind of a line concern. They abandoned it. It's going to overcurl if it even makes the hog line, and they appear to be giving up on it. Yeah, it didn't even make the hog line. So that stone is a throwaway. And welcome to Skip Stones. Welcome to the game, Mark Stieffenhofer. Stieffenhofer, that's how it goes. So he's currently lying 1. He does not have hammer. He does have a potential tap up, but it would be challenging. Not sure how he can get there to do the tap. He might be able to. There's a lot of cut from left to right. He'd have to get to, or he could just play a nice pure draw over on top of his current sitting shot stone. There's no real risk that stone could be knocked out because it's pretty hard on that yellow. So at any sort of reasonable tap weight, it's not gonna go away. It's gonna remain on the button. So I don't think there's any concerns there. And yep, Mark is lining up for a draw weight shot. Comes out of the house. Fairly nice high, standard high slide delivery using his broom. Good form there. Sweepers are on it for length at this point as far as I can tell. And this is guarding up. I kind of feel like that may have been what his deliberate choice was. He may have been like, okay, let's just take it so yellow has to accept our 1. Let's take a look and see what's going on over on the other sheets. Over on sheet A, let you hit and roll Team O'Reilly. Team O'Reilly's lying 2. On sheet C, Waffle House over Broomies. Yellow is lying 1. There's a couple stones in the back of the house that could be interesting later. And over on sheet D, Team Skebby versus Stroopwafle. That is a confusing house. Red is lying 1, yellow's lying 2. Red's got the 3rd, yellow, red, it's very, and then there's 5 guards out front. Did anything out of play in that end?
So on sheet A will be the hammer. Skip just coming back to the
We
hat
are getting
now.
ready to throw the hammer on A.
So what you missed while you're talking about the other sheets is red is now counting because of the draw.
Okay, so David Zimmerman came down the ice and flashed a number 3 at me. I'm not sure what he means by that. Is he just throwing this away? He's drawing. I'm not sure what he was trying to tell me. I'm not sure at all what he was trying to tell me, frankly.
So it looks like on sheet A the hammer is light, so that'll be red 1 on sheet A.
And
so I'll let you hit and roll.
David Stone popped across, guarded something up. So, but what about second breakfast? Still no. I'm sorry, that's wrong. Stiemmenwafle lies 1, getting ready to throw their final stone of the end.
So on sheet C and D, they're both down to the yellow hammers.
Okay.
And that's the last red rock here on sheet B. That's just in motion now.
Yep. This kind of looks like the end is going to kind of, over here on sheet B, is just going to kind of peter out. It feels like it's going to be just a straight red one. I don't really see any way that danger is going to occur here to either team. So I feel like this is just going to be a very quick decision by What About Second Breakfast to take his medicine and give up the steal of 1.
Either team probably has some interesting shot that they could make, but that's risky of doing
frankly,
more harm than good.
I don't even see an interesting shot that's makeable. So all that I see is essentially a throwaway, and say okay, and just move on.
So on sheet D, hammer is coming into the crashing on the guard.
Yeah,
so 1 yellow on sheet D.
Okay, 1 yellow on D, and this is definitely a throwaway from David Zimmerman. So that makes it 1-0 in favor of Stiemmenwafle from Buck City. And the hammer on C is coming through. It's coming down with some significant steam. It's going to clip a top guard, unfortunately, so it's not going to change the situation in the house. Not sure what the situation in the house is on C. Oh, is that it right there?
Red, yeah.
Yeah, 1 red.
1 red.
So lots of 1 reds. 3 1 reds, 4 1. Well, we don't actually know over on D yet.
No, on D I saw it was 1 yellow.
1 yellow was 1 D?
Yeah.
No, 1 D is still throwing hammer.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, I must not have seen that red one there. Okay, I put the score up before I was. Got it there? No, that's the wrong view. Sorry.
Okay, so D, the hammer is in flight now.
Oh, looks like it's just going to be 1 red.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
1 red over there.
So 1 red across the board. I think. Well, I don't know. Maybe I missed something. You guys are better. Wait and see what they post.
We'll see if somebody hangs something else. Our guesses are just that. They are guesses. They're not official until the team pushes it. All right, so back in our feature game, sheet B, red threw their first stone in, straddling the 4-foot. Okay. Yeah, just straddling the 4-foot to the right of the center line. Nothing fancy there. Other than the fact that did get to the 4-foot, therefore they did claim the box. They're playing for the box this game. Yeah, what this is every time a draw to the 4-foot happens or a double takeout, the player who throws it loudly shouts, "Box!" Celebrates the fact that they did so. They claim the Cheerios box, which is currently behind seat B because Team Stiemmenwafle just threw that draw to the 4-foot. And whoever has that box at the declared time, the only person who knows what that time will be is our Spiel coordinator, Christine. She will ring a bell. Whoever has the box at that point wins the box, and it's fabulous prizes inside, which, judging from the first couple games, are a selection of drinks and all kinds of fun stuff like that. And the box just went away to sheet D. All right. Jack Santoro delivering his second stone after the What About Second Breakfast stone did not stay in play. We're scrubbing this hard to try to bring it into the house. Looks like they're gonna get a...
It's debatable, but with the camera angle,
biter.
I think it is a biter with that camera angle. If you can see a tiny bit of white.
I see white.
Yeah, you see white, but because of the camera angle, it means it's too little white. It is a biter, but might be biter bar sort of thing.
But looks like they're not going to be concerned about it. David Zimmerman's asking Bobbie Todd to take out the one that's in the 4-foot, possibly to attempt to roll over underneath that stone that might be a biter, might be a 12-foot. Trying to carve. I think it's too heavy to carve. I think it's just going to be a flash. That is a flash. Second stone to the end, clear through. I think David gave that too much. I think David gave that too much line for a clean hit.
I think he really wants a guard there. What do you think?
Feel like I feel like Mark is saying I would really like a guard. I would really, really, really like a guard.
Really
like a guard. Did I mention that I would be heavily into you throwing me a guard now? Thank you. And Ryan looks down the sheet and goes, so you want a guard? And is now lining up to throw a hit. No, I'm joking. It's a guard. Nice classic deep tuck delivery. He's worked hard on getting that. Or he's just naturally flexible, one of the two.
He just knows he's on the feature sheet, so he has to make it look good.
So there's an actual question in my mind as to whether this is going to actually give him what he wants. I think it's going to overcurl. Yep, that overcurled. So the hit is still very much in play. David calling the same line for Jay Theado. I feel like after watching Bobbie flash that wide twice, I feel like I would come in a little bit. But David may know his players, may know that Bobbie tends to throw hits wide and Jay throws him a little narrower. They had the sweepers on it for a minute as though they were concerned about an overcurl. I don't think they needed to be. I think they need to be concerned about an undercurl. It does click the stone, but it is not out of play. It is exposed in the back 12-foot. Red currently lies 1.9. I'm not willing to give him 2. On the other hand, Ken's pretty sure they've got 2. So 1.9.
I'm the one who knows the cameras, so.
Fair. That's fair. Of course, I know the circles.
And we both know that the circles are not perfect. That's why we have the biter bar.
Right, exactly. So we will see what happens if that matters at the end of the end. So we have an interesting house developing over here on sheet A. We've got 3 yellow stones and 1 red stone in the 4-foot. And there have only been like 5 or 6 stones thrown this end. So basically they're playing a mixed doubles end kind of thing. So we shall see what Paul Luthi chooses to have his team do with that.
Yeah, sheet A is running a little bit ahead the other sheets just because they got a head start while the announcements are still going on.
They went out on the ice while Christine was still talking. That's a little rude, but oh well. Jamie Belafontaine looking to execute some chaos. Pops out the yellow, rolls over. He sacrifices his red, but I think that was a planned sacrifice, frankly. They may have gotten a shot out of that, and it may be a very well-defended shot. Yellow threw for a hit, and it overcurled, shot the field goal. Curling Club of Virginia is having a problem getting precise on the hits to this point. That's a little bit of an issue.
Oh, by the way, they did hang a 1 red on sheet D, so we were right.
So we were correct. Yay! It was 1 reds across the board. Were any of them steals? Apparently B and C were both steals. So that's interesting over on A. Some more of those stones that were in the 4-foot got knocked out. Looks to me as though red is lying 1, which would be let you hit and roll, Potomac's team. Paul Luthi is the skip, and they're taking a look at what to do about it right now.
We'll go back to that view again so you can see what Alan's talking about. Yeah, a little challenge to get that yellow out of there, but
I don't really need to at the moment. Red's got the shot.
Oh, yeah, really, they do, yeah.
Really, they're just kind of drawing in. They kind of want to nestle in there with a nice little draw. All of the houses are pretty open this end. There's not a lot of guard action going on any of the ends. Matt Athayde, stone, first stone of the end. Yeah, working its way in. They kind of want to sit on this red that's basically just on the tee. I think they're going to get there the littlest, it's a tiny tap, a tiny, tiny tap. Yellow lies 1. Team Stiemmenwafle calling for something in draw space. Probably looking to draw over top of that yellow. Some slight tap action, but nothing too dramatic. Sweepers got on it quick, like they're concerned about an overcurl. They should be concerned about an overcurl, although that does not have the distance to get there. That is not what he had in mind. That is a centerline guard on the shot stone. Not what he wanted at all. So David Zimmerman's asking his vice, Matt Athayde, to try to bring another one in there. It's not a horrible idea. It's actually a very good idea. Okay, we are in skip stones over on A. We are also in skip stones on D. D's house, pretty straightforward. Couple of reds, yellow that's currently shot, but it's exposed. A has some interesting interplay going on around the button, as yellow just rocks a stone right on in there on the button that's probably not extractable without the use of explosives, which would damage the ice, so we do not encourage that. And Paul Luthi and Jamie Belafonte taking a look, trying to figure out what to do about it. I mean, there is an open road to it, so they could just throw a stone in there and execute some damage. But I'm not sure they would get the result that they want if they did that.
Yeah, I'm showing the all-house view now.
Because there's too much backing. They could just go for a tiny tap and sit, probably sit shot. This is his last stone. His concern is he doesn't want to give up a 2. He's in a pretty good shot, pretty good look to not give up a 2 if he can successfully put his stone basically frozen to the top of the yellow. That's on sheet A. Sheet D is getting ready to throw yellow's first skip. They're playing against 3, possibly 4 red in the house. That's problematic. All right, Paul Luthi's stone is on the way. Like I said, over on A, he's looking to freeze to the top of that yellow. I don't think he's got the juice. I don't think he gets there. I think this locks up.
So close.
Very close, not quite enough. Over on B, we had a little bit of a tap. Stiemmenwafle tapping the shot stone that What About Second Breakfast had on the button. Moved it off the button enough, I believe red is shot. Yeah, red's shot. Red is definitely shot there.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to find out if that top one is a biter.
Yeah, I feel like that. I feel like all of the stress that we had over that earlier is irrelevant, and we will never know. Okay, yellow just threw a nice little tick pop, taking out one of the 2 red stones that was on the button on C. So that is the game between Waffle House throwing red and the Broomies from Broomstones, conveniently enough, throwing yellow. The score there was 1-0, still is, because all of our games are 1-0 at the moment, because we're all working through the second end.
sheet D, looks like red's drawing another one at the last red stone coming in for another
trying
draw.
to put a fourth one in. Nothing wrong with making your opponent draw against 4.
Yep. Well,
and
nice.
that is precisely what he's doing. I mean, unless you're going to hit. He's got an option to hit against 4. It's not pleasant to hit against 4. Draw against 4 is not much better, but you know, you do what you got to do.
Oh, and on sheet A, a draw attempt also comes up a little short, just like Paul's. So,
so that's the end of that end.
One yellow.
One yellow ties that up at 1 after 2. So this is red's last stone on C. They're coming in, putting a 3rd in the house. So red is going to have to deal with 3 red, yellow is going to have to deal with 3 red there. All right, David Zimmerman over here on sheet B, looking to do a hit. Got his sweepers on it immediately because he's crazy concerned about the angle. Clips it over the top. That's interesting. All right, he's got 1. Yellow lies 1. However, it is all over the exposed. I mean, it is exposed. It is exposed as a piece of film that was pulled out of the camera. Yellow over on D slides through, so the draw against 5, not successful. That's 5 points over for red on D, making that a 6-0 score in favor of Team Skebby over Stiemmenwafle.
So on sheet C, hammer has just started in motion.
And this needs to be...
So just a draw against 3.
They're looking for a draw against 3. They've only got 1 sweeper. I'm wondering why that is. There's been a lot of that going on in this game. I'm not quite sure why.
It looks kind of light, is it?
It's kind of light, and it's already overcurled. It is not going to do the job. Is it at least going to cut it to 2?
Well, I think so.
It's going to cut it to 2, but it is going to be 2 red. So 3-0 in favor of Waffle House over there.
Hit. Oh,
successful removal of the yellow stone, as was not terribly surprising on sheet B. So yellow there is drawing or hitting or whatever against 4. I'm going to say 4 because that yellow certainly outcounts that red.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to argue with that one.
Okay. So he has hammer. I am not sure why he's considering coming in over here. That's a crazy choice. The draw from left to right is there. There's nothing in the way. You've even got a backer to catch you if you're a little heavy. There is no reason to not be drawing from left to right, unless David Zimmerman has no confidence whatsoever in his draw and feels like he needs to hit that hit and try to roll in. But that shot doesn't get him 1. That shot, unless he throws nuclear weight, leaves at least 1 stone there. The draw from the other side, which is what his vice is trying to talk him into, is the only shot that gives him the possibility of 1. Okay, so he finally came to what I consider to be his senses. Doesn't look happy about it there, does he, Ken?
No. But
he looks like he's like, you never let me have any fun. So he's David Zimmerman skipped 4, but what about second breakfast? Basically, his plan is to draw in. He just needs to get full 4-foot. He's got backing, so he can afford to be a little heavy. There's plenty of cut in this ice. There's no issues there. He keeps staring at it as though he expects the situation to change.
Still thinking about what he wants to do.
It's times like this when I wish we had the mics on the skips, because I'd love to know what he's thinking, because there is no scenario that I can think of where the hit on the other side makes any sense whatsoever, unless he's scared. Unless he's scared, he's not going to execute the draw. If he's scared, he's not going to execute the draw. That's one thing.
You don't want to give up for it.
Right. The one thing that the hit does have going for it, it almost certainly doesn't give up for. People behind me are saying you can hit and roll and be shot. I don't know that I agree with the people behind me, but they may be right. It looks like we won't know. It looks like we're going with the draw.
Okay. We won't really know until the rock's in motion the way things
Yeah.
are doing here.
I'm not fully convinced yet. We are now in the third smash minute of David looking at this stone. Okay, he's in the house. He's settling for his push.
Going for the draw.
He's going for the draw. Little shaky on the push out, but he got it under control. He's got it in. He's got a sweeper on it fast. Are they concerned about an overcurl? They probably should be if they're not. Sweepers are on it. As long as it gets past the guard, he's fine. He's got plenty of room on the guard now. So now it's just a question of depth. Is it going to come across enough? He threw that too hard. He threw that clean through. That's a tick. That is giving up 4 red. Paul is not happy with himself on that.
Should have gone for the hit.
Sure.
Or
No, he should have executed the draw better.
Yeah.
And I say that as somebody who, when I was doing under fives way back when, I would have been probably doing exactly what Paul did. I would have been yelling at my vice, going, "Let me play the hit. Let me play the hit. I know I can play the hit." And then when the vice finally talks me into the draw, I would have done exactly what he did, which is why I see it in his eyes, because I know, because I've been there.
Yep.
Completely.
It's like this early in the game, giving up 1, yeah, no big deal. But
giving up 4 is a problem
when you're already behind by 1.
Yeah. So that was an unfortunate error. In tennis, we'd call that an unforced error, in my opinion. But still plenty of game left today. A deficit of 5 is not insurmountable. So over on sheet D, there was also a 5 in the second end, so that game is 6-0. We know that. I thought it was a draw against 4. Apparently it was a draw against 5. Sheet C, red hung a 2 in the second end to go up 3-0. That would be Waffle House over the Broomies. We do not have the second end hung that I can see. Yes, we do. A 1 on sheet A to tie it up 1-1. So all of our scores are up to date, and that is where we stand as we are progressing through the third end. Welcome to the chat. Those are the folks who are watching this online, hopefully supporting all of our teams here in this first round of the Brunch Spiel. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, feel free to pop those into that chat, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. That's why we're here, is so that you guys can enjoy some good, solid club-level curling. And remember, the winner of this tournament does, in fact, advance to the National Championships for 5 and unders, being held later this year.
Yeah, so the chat comment was about the Broomies playing 3 as their lead had to drop out. Last minute, couldn't make the trip.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Sorry to hear that for the Broomies. That does make it a little bit more difficult for them through the thing. Hope it was nothing overly serious. So ironically, at the 5 and under level, sometimes it's actually to your advantage to play as a team of 3. It's a problem in terms of fatigue and all that sort of thing, but it gives the players, at least the front end, more stones that they can throw. And at this level, the ability to throw that extra stone will help that third one be better sometimes. So it's not necessarily a huge drawback. Now, you only have 1 sweeper. That's an issue, especially if one of your players is a weaker sweeper.
Yeah, I mean, if you're if your leads can get up and sweep their own stones, then I agree, it can be an advantage a bit.
Sure. If you've got a lead that's capable of doing that, I want them on my team. That's not actually true. I like my team. I've got a lead that's capable of getting up and sweeping some stones.
Also important if you're playing doubles.
Very true. So as I said, we're just progressing our way through the third end here. On our feature sheet, sheet B, at the moment, red is lying 2. Yellow does have 1 in the house as third stone, but it's not really in a position where it's going to be terribly useful. There's a pair of guards up front guarding all of the stones that are in the house. Not perfectly, but they're providing some protection.
Oh, we're up to 30 viewers. How about that?
Wow. Welcome. Yellow is attempting to draw to that red stone. They're going to tap it, but not get enough over it to sit on it. They rolled a little deep. We now have kind of a red, then yellow, then red, then yellow. Yellow stone, the second shot is completely exposed. Looks like Mark is asking Ryan Hooker to make it disappear. Some might say vanish. Some would in fact say vanish. Although that's not a hit weight, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's looking to draw. The broom looked like it was a hit line on that yellow stone, but the weight is not a hit weight on the stone. He's drawing it to the other side. It's an interesting choice. It's defendable. It's very defendable. If he can get this stone deep enough, I don't feel like he did unless he wants to, unless he was trying to guard a counter draw, which, I mean, okay. So now Mark is, David Zimmerman is recommending Jay Theado throw the counter draw that I was discussing earlier. Not sure if that line is going to be enough to get there at that weight. It's still drifting out, though. It's probably okay in terms of line. Whether it's got enough weight's an open question.
It might be too much? No.
I don't. Yeah, well, it's going to. So it's going to wreck on his yellow, which is actually going to be useful because that's going to roll in. That's actually shot.
But exposed.
But exposed.
And back house.
Yeah. So it's useful, but not incredibly so. So Jay Theado is probably not thrilled by that result. Mark Stieffenhofer is asking Ben to use his first vice stone. I believe he's trying to draw into the dog pile there in the 4-foot. Sweepers are on it as though they're concerned about weight. Now they come off of it. They're waiting for the cut. Now they're trying to push. Here comes the cut. Might be a little late. They're going to tap this yellow on the nose, push it through. That's not. Now the red stone is exposed. Red lies 3, actually. But exposed and definitely botherable.
And back house.
Yeah. So here comes Ben Hallman. I'm sorry, that's not correct. Here comes Matt Athayde down to the hack. His intent, I believe, is to hit that red stone and roll in over on top of the other one.
Oh, we missed the end on sheet A.
Wow, they're curling fast on A.
So we'll have to wait till they
I have
score that.
no idea what happened over there. Whatever it was, they did it quick. And they're not willing to tell us. All right, the yellow stone that is the hit attempt for here on sheet B is being swept pretty hard as though they're concerned about getting past the guard. They're past the guard. They got the nose. They got the rollover. That is exactly what was asked for.
Yep. Nice.
So nicely executed. All right, so we know yellow is throwing the first stone over on A, so they did nothing. It was a blank end.
Blank end.
So that game
Theado.
remains 1-1 after 3. Mark asking Ben to draw in to the dog pile again. It's a little bit trickier now because he needs to put it right on the button to be shot, unless he's going to get a little tap on that yellow stone. Here comes the cut. It's coming in. It's going to be a little heavy and did not get across to the face. It moves to the back of the 8-foot. All it serves as is a catcher now, which is not what he wanted. So Curling Club of Virginia is preparing to attempt to throw a draw with Matt Athayde's next shot, trying to put a second one in. They don't, okay. So depending, based on what David Zimmerman is calling, he isn't actually interested in scoring with this. He's interested in shutting down the chase. Now, he has hammer, so he may be planning on using a stone like that to do a tap up later. But right now, that's what he's got in mind.
So I'm switch to the all house view so we can watch the hammer on sheet D. The yellow Stiemmenwafle is getting ready to throw their hammer. So they need to get that red out of there, which should be a challenge.
Which is going to be a tricky.
But it's doable.
I don't know that I agree with you on
well,
that.
They can bump it, but I don't know if they can get enough weight on it.
If they can sufficiently get it out, though, they are in a good position to score 3. Stone's on the way. Stone's on the way.
Nope, too wide.
Past the guard. It's wide. Yep, all they do is hit their own. 1 red.
One red.
Yes, 1 red.
1 red for
So that makes it 7-0 in favor of Team Skebby over Stroopwafel. Mayfield over Broomstones. All right, we're giving it a good hard look-see over here on sheet B.
On sheet C, that's the last red rock you see coming in. Well, not coming in. Coming into view, I meant.
Coming into view. We can
but
see
not
it.
into the house, so it's red.
Yellow, I'm sorry, red lying 1.
One.
So that's Waffle House attempting to add to their lead.
So yellow's got hammer.
Yellow's got hammer. Do
It's
they have a
gonna be
draw line? They've got a draw line if they want it. They don't really
in off
have
the yellow.
That's not, you're not going to get to the button off that. If it was about a foot higher, you could consider it. But I feel like the draw line's what's there. All right, Mark is attempting to explain to his front end he wants a hard freeze. I'm not 100% sure what he wants to hard freeze on. I guess he wants to hard freeze on the top yellow. Not 100% sure why he wants that, unless he's planning on using it as a battering ram on his last stone. Yeah, either way, the stone is on its way. It's curling steep. It's starting to cut. Is he going to get past the guard pile?
Yes, it will.
He's past the guard pile. He's going to tap that yellow. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, that's interesting for red because they could tap the red that they just threw into that pocket that was just established to get there to steal a 1.
So that's on the right side of the screen. There's a yellow hammer coming in on sheet C, trying to drive. Little bump, does nothing. So it's red 1. Is that what we're seeing there?
2.
2, yeah.
So that should make that 5-0 after 3? Yes, it will. All right, David Zimmerman not looking thrilled with his options, and he's calling for a draw. My assumption is he wants to draw over that red so that Stiemmenwafle can't try to promote into the bucket. Excuse me. David is a very hard knee slide. Unfortunately, he's got a pad on his knee. He'd be doing some serious damage to his knee with those impacts, but he's got a pad. Hurts the ice a little bit, but it's okay. Stone's coming in. He's got some heat. If he's not careful, he's going to tap that red into the bucket. Kind of like that, yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. I think it's yellow 1, but right now I see a couple heads.
And still 1 stone left from both sides, so.
Yeah, yellow 1, as far as I can tell.
I admire your optimism. All that I know is that if I was an official, I'd be swearing right now. And oh wait, I am.
You would be hoping somebody hit something and you don't have to look at it.
I would, because the measuring devices really aren't meant to deal with that. That is not a scenario that they are well equipped for. Now, this is an unofficiated spiel, so the teams will have to do their own measurements. So that could be entertaining.
You're not going to run out and then help them?
I'm not. I don't have the right shoes on. I do kind of feel like maybe we should warn Dobbs that we could have something could be coming up. Stone is on its way. It's got enough energy. It might change things, except that it's going to chip off that yellow. So really all it's going to do is put another yellow in the game, just making it just that much more complicated.
Okay, I predict they're not going to chip the red out of there and whatever happens in that last rock.
So what about second breakfast from the Virginia Triangle Curling Club? Is probably sitting there. The front end for Virginia just kind of turned around and asked me whose shot. My answer is I don't know. Feel free to place your bets in chat because yeah, we've actually got folks in the warm room coming over and staring at our picture because they don't know either. Let you know. Sure. So we just we actually just summoned Michael Dobbs, USCA official, and also one of the bodies in charge. Yeah, he just threw it away. So Zimmerman has thrown it away. So he either thinks he's shot or he doesn't see any way to improve the situation. So it is now up to the Vices. Good luck with that. I understand it, but ask me to. We were just putting you on standby, that's all. Okay, so they pulled 1 out, which means it's really only 2 stones that are in question.
I wouldn't think it would be those 2, would it? Maybe. I don't know. What are they doing?
I'm not sure they know.
Okay.
Okay, well, a decision has been made.
I guess we're calling it red.
One way or the other. A decision has been made. We're not sure what the decision is. Who got what? Who got what? You think you got one or they got one? They got one? Okay, so the skips think yellow got 1. Yep, yellow is definitely in the hack. So, yeah, so it was, what
deemed.
about second breakfast? It was deemed 1 yellow. And as with all things curling, if the skips agree, that's the call. So 1 yellow brings the score to 5-1 in favor of Stiemmenwafle. that did slow our game down a little bit, so we're kind of behind the other ones. Just a reminder, these games are on a 2-hour time clock. The end that they are on at the 2-hour mark, which will be 4:30 p.m., is the last end that they get to play. That's an hour and 5 minutes from now. Basically, if they're well in the fourth end, they're in decent shape. Our game on B, that is not the case. So they're going to need to pick up the pace if they want to get all 8 ends in. Most of the other games are in reach of it, but they need to pay attention to pace of play to make it. That is basically because the plan is we need to have games that take no more than 2 hours and 15 minutes because we have draws coming every 2.5, and we have to have prep ice between. So it is what it is. If the game should happen to be tied at the end of regulation, skip stones determine the winner. If a skip stone doesn't decide the winner, then I believe it's a knife fight. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Okay.
Wait, luckily, you can't do it on the ice, though. You don't want to get blood on the ice.
Yeah, that's true.
Take that outside.
Or possibly a waffle eating contest. That would probably be more in theme.
Yeah, the skips have to decide before the game which way they're going to go.
Yeah. You know, some of these skips are probably better at the waffle eating contest. Some of them, on the other hand, I would not want to challenge them in a knife fight. So, you know, go either way.
So Brian Darrenheim's watching sheet A, so we'll keep an eye on that for you, Brian.
Gotcha. So right now over on sheet A, it is tied at 1 as we're working our way into the fourth end. Yellow has a stone in the back of the forefoot. That would be Team O'Reilly from Ardsley Granite. Omeletta, you hit and roll. They have some material they can work with. It is by no means a hopeless case. There is a triangle of 3 very high guards on the center line just inside the hog. There's a red guard very effectively guarding the right to left draw. The left to right draw is still pretty open. And Paul Luthi also has an in-off option if he really wants it. I'm not sure he does, but if he does, he's got it.
So over on sheet A, I believe this is the last yellow rock coming in.
I believe you are correct.
Looks pretty good.
Might be a little stiff. It slides back beyond the button, so that gives Paul, with his hammer, a nice draw to the button with backing. I like Paul's chances.
Yep. Not going to get your 2, but take your 1. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, he's not. Because of if the guards weren't there, he actually has a very nice even blast to get his 2. But the guards are there. That's why they call them guards. So yeah, he's got to draw to the button, take his 1. But actually, in this game, taking a 1, powerful. It's tied at 1 right now, and there's been a blank end. So Paul would if he gets this draw, he would maintain the even end hammer and be up by 1. It's not a game clinching situation, but it's powerful.
So Paul's rock is coming into view.
Yeah, it appears a little stiff, but he's got the backing. If it bends enough, it did not bend enough. Slid through yellow 2.
O'Reilly.
So that makes that 3-1 in favor of Team O'Reilly from Ardsley and Granite Front. In a game that's
that's how you say it. Give me that damn thing.
Paul may be down 5-1, not Paul. David may be down 5-1, but he's got the box, damn it.
That was the Cheerios box we talked about earlier.
Take your small victories where you can get them. Stone is in danger of overcurling, or is going to chip it out. All right, what do we got in mind? Paul's looking to just kind of freeze on top of that red stone currently shot up there, right between the 8 and 12. Up at about 1:30 on the clock. Ben Hallman Stone approaching the house now. He's trying to tap the current shot stone from David Zimmerman. We're actually trying to get out over in front of it. He did so, but he's totally open and pretty exposed, so should not be an overly aggressive challenge for Athayde to deal with that. Still Matt's shot, yes. Matt's getting ready to throw his second vice stone of the end.
So it looks like a yellow with second shot here, so.
Yes. So what yellow is attempting, what yellow's plan is he wants to come in, gentle weight, tap that red stone that's currently shot out here to our left. Doesn't necessarily even need to, oh no, he's okay. He's looking to pop it out to the right and roll to the left. It didn't look like what he was considering originally, but apparently he's changed his mind based on what he just pantomimed to his front end. Not sure pantomime is the right word, but I went with it. Stone is on the way. Oh, that is going to overcurl something fierce. That has already cut. It's cutting. Well, they may get it. They may have it under control. If it gets past the guard, it'll probably be okay. Get past the guard. Spun a little far.
Not counting. I don't think.
Yeah, it's in the rings, but it's not. It's third shot, definitely.
Yeah. It's close, but.
Yeah. Stone is on its way from Stiemmenwafle, Buck City, Vice Ben Hallman. Basically, he's being asked to come in here and add to the mess over here on the right side of the 8-foot. Don't think he's got enough juice.
Nope. We'll watch the hammer coming in on sheet C here.
All right, what are we doing? It's a
Yellow
draw
sitting
for
3. No, draw for 4.
No, it's a red in the back. Draw
Oh,
for 3.
okay. Sorry, I didn't
Well,
see that.
unless he executes this tap, in which case it is a tap for 4.
Oh.
But he didn't, I don't think.
No,
I think
that's
it's 3 yellow.
really close, but no, I think that's 3 yellow.
Looks to me like most of that red mass is in the 8-foot. Most of the yellow mass is out of the 8-foot. Vices are taking a look at it, but Vices are still taking a look at it. They're clearing out everything else. They got to take a measure.
I guess so.
They're being careful about it, like they're going to take a measure.
Yeah.
They're taking a measure. All right, so we got our first measurement of the spiel over here on sheet C.
Didn't quite see sheet D in time, but I believe it was 1 red, and red is throwing the first rock on sheet D. So pretty sure they're 8-1, 8-0 lead.
8-0 over there. All right, so let's evaluate his measurement form. Okay, there's already one mistake. Folks are watching at home. Never leave your broom in the house when there's a measurement going on. Nothing good can come of that. Don't do it. This has been a public service announcement from the United States Curling Association Officiating Committee. Also, don't drop your gloves in the house. At least where she's got it's not really a problem, but so that didn't even touch, did it? They're gonna have to reset those. And this is why you actually do the screw set on the stone, so you don't have this problem. And they're looking at a number. Okay, they've got a number. Do they? Okay. Okay, they've got a number. And now they're coming around to the other stone. That is huge. That is definitely red. So yeah, so our instincts were correct. That is
yellow.
definitely red.
Right, leaving 3. That was, hold it. It was 3 yellow though, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what we said.
Probably. All right, back to the feature game. We are on skip stones here in the 4th end. Yellow currently lying 2. Red trying to do something about that. This stone is not going to dramatically change the situation, at least not to Red's benefit. So yellow preparing to throw his last. That doesn't make any sense. Has hammer. Why is there still a red stone down at that end if yellow, yellow doesn't have hammer. Yellow scored the 3rd. Okay, that's why. Okay. So yellow preparing to throw his last. Looks as though he's getting ready to try to plop a 3rd scoring stone in, or he's guarding the draw line. Hard to tell from that broom which of those is his goal, or he might just be prepared to accept either of those outcomes. The big thing he wants to guard against is he does not want to be too deep. He really doesn't want to be exposed so that he's a missile. Okay, so it is a guard. They're guarding against they're hoping it not going to overcurl. That's probably good enough. The edge of the 4-foot is exposed. Red could get there with his hammer, but the scoring zone is pretty skinny. That's a pretty precise draw that would be necessary. Not impossible by any stretch of the imagination, but not trivial. So it is a red draw against, I'm going to say it's against 2. I'm going to say that yellow in the back of the 8 is better than that red in the top of the 8. My opinion is obviously not official, but that's my take. So it feels like he's drawing against 2 here. But what about second breakfast? Could be right back in this game if this draw is not adequate. He basically needs to be full 8 foot to cut down to 1, pretty much touch the button to be shot. Stone from Mark's Stieffenhofer is on its way. Sweeper's got on it immediately. It's already on the guard pile up front. So that is not going to help. Is it possibly going to give yellow a 3rd point? We don't know because our TV's just turned off. There we go. I think he may have just given yellow a mystery bonus point.
Thinking he probably did.
That
looks like a little more than half yellow.
I might be 4 yellow. I'm certainly 3 yellow. I might be 4.
I don't like the yellow on the right, but I'm not sure.
Which one?
Yeah.
Definitely 2. And they're going to measure the other 2. They're going for the measuring stick. Okay, so we have definitely 1 yellow. No question, 1 yellow. At this point, if you've already decided to bring the measuring out, just measure the 1 red against everything. Okay, they're taking that yellow out of the game too. And those 2. Okay, I now no longer know what the score is going to be this
right. Well, I presume they meant that was 3 yellow, and they're just
3 yellow, and this is 3 yellow, and this is the 4.
Yeah, because the other 3.
Because that was Stiemmenwafle that said kick 'em. So yeah, I agree. Okay, so they're doing a much better job of marking the stone correctly. They got their number. Can't really tell. We can't tell. Clean miss on the yellow, so red is definitely closer, so 3 yellow. We're pretty sure 3 yellow, which would make this a 5-4 game. Yep, they hung the 3. Okay. 5-4 game at halftime. Second breakfast climbs right back into it.
Okay, taking a look at all the houses here. So sheet A is, it's a hammer coming in on sheet A right now.
Hammer on sheet A right now as we speak. Red trying to draw against 1 yellow. Not succeeding. That's got to be too hefty. That is through enough at least. 1 yellow.
1 yellow, Team O'Reilly.
I missed it on the last stone by this much.
So 1 yellow makes that a 4-1. And then over here on C, they've still got a ways to, they're already in the 5th rather.
Yeah, both C and D have lots of rocks left to play, so yeah.
Yeah, but they're all in the 5th, so everybody's in the 5th. Not true, A is still.
No, they moved on to the 6th. They're ahead of everybody.
Okay, you're right, okay. Keeping track of things is complicated sometimes.
Nice draw.
progressing through the fifth end here of 8, at least 8 scheduled.
Nice placement of that draw. Counting
That's a
and
very nice draw.
half guarded. Not quite as guarded as I thought now that I look at it.
It's guarded pretty effectively from the outside. Yeah, you can get there from the inside, which appears to be what they've got in mind. So these games are an hour 15 into their time window. Theoretically, they should be finished with their fifth end by now. One game is. The other games are not. So we're probably going to be mostly playing 7-end games here.
Oh, nice draw party going on here, but that didn't quite get enough on the inside, so yellow's still counting.
Yeah, yellow is still definitely shot.
It's like same game plan for all these rocks. Draw down to here.
Pretty much. Although this is going to be much more guard here.
Yeah, maybe that was intention if they're shot there.
I mean, he could be trying to guard up the steal.
Well, wouldn't really be a steal being way over there, but the insurance rock or whatever you want to call it.
He's preventing.
Preventing a blank end.
Yeah, well, he's certainly doing that. But at this level, blank ends are mostly accidental. They happen, but rarely on purpose. Are we shaking on D, or were those celebratory fist bumps? Okay, those are just celebratory fist bumps. Okay. Over on sheet D, Team Skebby from Mayfield is well in control of their game against Stieffenhofer. Stone is on the way. Looks like he's trying to shoot the gap and do a raise. He tipped the top guard. Tipped the second guard, which opened all of the things. So he doesn't really mind that. I'm assuming that why do I keep thinking David's name is Mark? David Zimmerman is going to put a now. He's considering his angles. Split the house.
Yeah.
Split the house. That's a good plan.
Yeah.
Okay, not quite split the house as much. Bring it into the button.
Sounds like a good call to me.
It's reasonable. It's not a bad choice.
Since that center guard's up there.
Yeah. And it's his center guard, so even if they chose to go after it with a raise, they'd be raising with their own stone. The other team would be raising with red would be raising with yellow stone. So that's not horrible for you. Wow, that just seriously left it. Beneficially for yellow. Although it probably overcurled to an exposure on the other side. Red probably...
I don't think there's any double without jamming on the own red.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you definitely lose your back red if you do it, but you're fighting against 2 right now, and you've got a lead. It's not a big lead, but I think you take the chance, and it looks like that's what he's calling.
Said I opened that guard, I'm going to use the opening.
Pretty much.
On their last shot.
I expect this to be a reasonably high weight takeout. Yeah. Stone is on its way. Let's see how Ryan Hooker's heat control is.
Well, they're shot now.
They are shot now.
But exposed.
That was not the way he wanted to do that. Because really what David could call is if he pops that pocket between the yellow and the red, that both of those reds go away, the yellow's going to spin out, and yellow's going to be lying 3. And that is what Mark is calling. Mark saw that angle virtually immediately. I mean, it's hard not to see that. That's pretty clear. So if he gets this at all where he wants it, yellow's going to be lying 3 at the end of this probably. Might not get enough mustard on the red currently touching the 4-foot to completely get it out, so it might not be totally resolved. That fades. Stone is on the way. They get the sweepers on it quickly. I'm not sure if that's just to keep the line or if he's concerned. He should be concerned, I think. He's got the red and over the yellow. That doesn't suck. That is yellow 2 right now. And a pretty easy way to generate the 3rd, which would actually generate the 4th, if you so desire.
Or the other way around, they can't hit both yellows out without taking out their own red.
Right.
So.
Right. So what is Mark going to have Ben do? Mark is having Ben, okay, he's taking it on. It appears at least that Mark has been taking it on. Stone is on its way. They're looking to try to keep it straight, like they're expecting an overcurl. It's coming. Cut is coming. Boop, boop, boop. Both of his reds went away, and yellow lies 3. That was not the result he wanted off that. Stretch of the imagination.
Dangerous to begin with, but
yeah, I don't think he took that on right.
Yeah, I mean, with 2 yellows in the back of the house, he's not too worried about them anyway, I guess.
So now David Zimmerman finding himself in control of the end. Wouldn't mind a steal here because that would get him back at least tied, maybe even a lead if he gets a big enough steal. Or he's certainly in good position to force, which is also perfectly acceptable in his mind. Looks like he's just trying to load another scoring stone in, which is a fine choice. If he can get this to the house. Okay, he got this to the house. A little shorter than he really wanted, but it's not in a bad place. It's guarding. It guards the center. Well, yeah, it cuts off some of the center guard, some of the button for a scoring draw. What is Mark having Ben do? Mark's coming in, outside in.
It's a hit and roll,
Does he think he
slide
can
roll.
Does he think he can get across that?
No, I think he can. Have a down weight.
At that line? Only if the weight's very down. Which that is. Ben throws a down weight hit sort of thing.
Looks like we're gonna miss the guard.
I'm not 100% sure he's missing the guard. Yeah, okay, he misses the guard. He's not going to cross the face, though. He's going to be outside. And he didn't even hit it hard enough to take that yellow out. It feels like there might have been something under that yellow, because that yellow didn't take off after the hit the way I expected it to. It looked like it kind of drug a little bit. But so it's a nice, easy hit and roll under for red to be lying 5.
Well, not exactly easy. It's still that guard you need to work your way around.
Okay, true. It's not wide open, but it's not It's not overly challenging.
And if you move the guard, you still have another rock left. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, he doesn't have hammer. Yellow doesn't have hammer. Red does. So Mark right now shouldn't be putting those 5 stones in the bank. Mark should be still thinking, okay, what do I got to do to ensure the force? And if ensuring the force results in him getting that big number, cool. Not Mark, David.
No more eyes. And drawing board. One more. Thank you. Good try, good try.
David's taking a look. He wants to get the hit. I'm not sure I put the sweepers on it that early. Okay, here it comes. Nope, he doesn't get there. He doesn't get there. He flashed. The sweepers were on that way too early. He laid that out wide, and it hit wide. It wasn't coming back, especially not once the sweepers were on it. I feel like that was probably an error by the Vice putting the sweeper on it put the sweepers on it from the get-go.
Guess we missed the last change on sheet C. It was 4 red.
4 red, bringing that up to 9-0.
9-3.
9-3. Okay.
Well, let's all look at all the houses while we're waiting here.
Sheet D at the wrong end? No,
Yeah,
why is sheet D?
I think I must have missed a score there. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Yeah. What was the 5th end? Was 1 yellow.
Yeah.
Let's try that again. There we go.
Yeah.
Now we got the right one.
Okay. Alrighty, so over here on sheet A, as we are getting down to the final yellow stone in this 6th end. Currently, Potomac Omelette You Hit and Roll is sitting 1 red on the 4-foot, pretty well protected. Team O'Reilly from Ardsley and Granite has called a draw, just basically trying to outdraw it. It's a challenging draw. They need to basically get full 4-foot to be shot. Now they're up 3, so Paul Luthi skipped 4 Let You Hit and Roll. Needs to get this 2 here, or else he's got some issues. It appears that David Zimmerman is looking at trying to promote his yellow. No, not never mind. He's drawing. He's out drawing it.
On sheet A, not quite good enough to
Not quite
count
good
the red.
enough. So Paul has to figure out how to get into the 4-foot to get his 2.
And off the yellow, I think is.
In off the yellow is definitely an option. A soft in off doesn't even have to be hard. Or okay, that tall red promote's also a thing.
I mean, it just has to hit the yellow, though, right? I mean, even a center hit on the yellow.
Yeah. All right, what did Mark do? Mark drew too deep. So he's not going to get his steal. He's going to give up at least 1, I mean, barring chaos. He's going to give up at least 1. He's given up possibly a draw for 2. All right, so Paul over here on sheet A is considering his various tap-up lines. He's currently looking at tapping either of the 2 reds that are just outside the house. Looking to tap those straight back into the 4-foot. Yellow lies 1 on sheet C, getting ready to throw, I believe, throwing their hammer. No, there's a lot of stones left over there. Never mind. All right, here comes the hammer on B. Like I said, an open draw touches 4-foot for 2. Starting to cut in pretty sharp. Sweepers are on it hard.
Nope,
Does
not
it
going to
have
do it.
enough? No.
Oh, okay.
Bounces
well.
off that guard, and nope, 1
Nope,
red.
1 red.
Okay, so David Zimmerman makes that a 2-point game. Moving into the 6th end, they are not on pace to make 8. They're only playing a 7-end game.
So this is a hammer on sheet A. Oh.
And that did not do what he meant to do, so
quite.
Paul only got his 1.
1 omelet, you hit and roll.
Yep, I'm not sure that was the raise I would have attempted, but
It was close.
yeah. So that score is now 4-2 after 6. That game is on pace to play all 8. So Paul's in a situation where it's either steal to tie or give 1, take 3, something like that. Hogged stone by red to open up our 6th end here on sheet B.
Guard was a little too deep, so take it out.
Yep.
Guess you can't call it a guard when it's too deep, but the intended guard.
The guard attempt. Yeah. The sentry. What red had in mind with that stone. They tried to do a takeout. Instead, they just kind of gentle kissed it, which kind of double bounced. Yellow lies 3. Yellow also, no, yellow does not have hammer. Red has hammer. Yellow getting ready to throw their last.
You're talking about sheet D?
I am talking about sheet D.
Guess I should show that.
And so yellow currently has 3 in the 4-foot, getting ready to throw their last. And that could be, you know, if they could put together a big number here, that could get them back in the game. I mean, they're still in deep trouble. They're down 7 in the 6th currently. So best case, they're still going to be down 3 in the 7th. But Better than they were.
Yeah.
Far cry better than they were.
So that's, but they don't have hammer, right?
Correct. Red has hammer, so red can. But I mean, the way the stones are at the moment, the button is pretty well protected, and those stones are provided defending themselves. I don't think yellow's going to get 4 out of this, but yellow's in a good situation to possibly get at least a couple.
Well, there comes another one.
Yeah, that's gonna basically put 4 stones in the 8-foot. Actually, 4 stones in the 4-foot. So red, basically all red can do is hit things hard to get rid of as much of it as they can, and all right, so Team Skebby's Skip, who up until this end probably felt like he was in pretty secure control of the game, still probably feels like he's in control of the game. He's just wanting to keep his foot on the throat, basically. Staring for a hit against 4, really it's just a cut down. He really doesn't have any way to get shot out of this, I don't think. But even just a cut down is helpful. So stone's on its way. This is the hammer. He wants to make sure he's got the sweepers on it, like he's concerned about line.
Oh, look at that. He got shot.
Did he get shot?
Yeah.
Well done.
That was
Okay, that's a good skip moment.
might as well, we haven't used the replay. We might as well go back and see that again.
That deserves a replay. So there it is. Gets that over, rolls it onto the button, and at that point, Team Stieffenhofer, and you can't blame him on this one, is basically saying, you know, it's just not our day. That game is over. We have concession on sheet D. Team Skebby defeats Stieffenhofer 9-1 after 6.
10-1, because that I didn't. The last score.
It was only 8-1.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, did I already put?
I don't know.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, somewhere in there. 8. Yeah, but it's a bit 9-1 because they didn't put the last score there. Yeah. So I
So
don't
the
know
final
why.
score is 9-1.
Yeah. Okay. So our next end to finish, next sheet to finish will be sheet C, I guess.
Finish the end.
Yeah, sheet C's
Yeah,
got
because I think they're maybe sheet C might be on their hammer.
No, there's another
No, yellow has.
Yeah.
Okay, it's on red's last. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's on red's last. So yellow has 3 in the house. Again, it's another situation where yellow could conceivably climb back in the game if red doesn't handle this well. Now, last guy that had this problem handled it well. Let's see what happens here.
More than well. Handled it perfectly.
Handled it perfectly adequately. Well done, sir. So this stone is on its way. That would be Potomac Waffle House, trying to take out as many of those as can.
Oh, God.
One's gone for sure. 2 are gone. So well executed by Team Waffle House.
Yeah, I don't think they hit that where they wanted to, but it did the job.
I think they did, actually.
You did? Okay.
At least close enough. So that leaves the Broomies with a draw for 2. It's a fairly straightforward draw for 2. They got a nice wide port. All they got to do is get paint. But even that's going to put them down 4, 9-5 after 6 ends. Now they are on pace to probably make 8 if they want it. So they've got 2 ends to work. It's 4:30 is the cut time for these draws. Right?
Yeah.
It
Yep.
started at 2:30, right? Yeah. 4:30 is the cut time for these draws, so they've got 20 minutes to get the 7th end done to be able to throw the 8th. The only game that's really in danger is the game on sheet B. Still has 5 stones to go this end, and so they need
See, the hammer came up short,
came
so
up
one
short,
yellow.
So there's only 1 yellow, so that makes it 9-4 after 6. Are they continuing? It appears so. Skips are walking down to the other end. And yep, they are continuing.
Now that I look at the scoreboard, it says it's 9-3. Did we give them?
They just haven't hung their 6th end score
Oh,
yet.
it's 6. Oh, okay, right. Yep. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, hogged stone over here on sheet B in the 6th end. Gives David Zimmerman an opportunity to do something about these 2 red stones in the 4-foot. They are unprotected, and they are not in line, so they are doubleable. That is what he is asking his vice to do. Stones on the way.
Not a lot of weight.
Yeah, it's plenty of weight. It needs to cut in a little bit. They're trying to carve it. They get the contact, or is it a flash? It is a chip of the top one. That's not a sin. They've still got skip stones left, so that's not a sin by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, but when you're down by 2, you don't want your rock to spill out when you got all those guards that could have been hiding behind.
True statement. He would have liked to have gotten over a little bit more. So Mark Stieffenhofer is looking to draw in. I feel like I would call a narrower line and try to draw in further to get behind the guards, unless he's counting on a massive cut. He's looking for about 7 feet of curl at the moment. That seems optimistic. Stone is on its way. Feels a little steamy. Now it's slowing down nicely. Sweepers get on it. Okay. So, actually, does this even have house? So I take back what I was saying about it.
It's coming in.
Yep, okay. So it is a second counter. Pretty tall.
Pretty well guards their shot
Pretty
rock.
well guards their shot rock. And David is starting to play happy fun raise games. Not sure I agree that I would be playing a happy fun raise game at this point, but got to do what you got to do.
I wonder if there's some magic shot where you could hit 2 of their yellows and get them both in and take out a red or something. But I'm not seeing it.
Now, there's not material there to do that. I mean, David could be in the mode where he's like, all right, we're down 3. Oh, sorry, we're only down 2. So take 1, steal 1 is a tie, because he knows the game's not going 8. He's got the tip. He's got the tip. Is the weight right? No, neither was the angle. That yellow, the shooter, is just barely hanging on over at the edge of the 12, but it's probably not going to factor into anything. Maybe. It could if David had actually went after the double and got it. but I'm sure Mark is not planning on on making that a smart call.
Take a look over on sheet A. I think it's the, no, not the last yellow, the second to last yellow. I mean, the first skip yellow, whatever, on sheet A.
Okay. And yellow is currently lying 1 in there. There is a red that is partially buried as the second shot. Yellow has 3, 4, and 5. So red's in a little bit of pain at the moment. Did they get that over the hog? They did. Yes, no, maybe. They're leaving it, so I guess they did. Doesn't look like it to me. Neither skip is challenging it, so I guess it's in.
You need to install a hog line camera?
Yeah, get on that. Okay, red does the draw in to touch the 4 to be 2. If David wants to be aggressive, he has the shot that his vice just, or he just broomed, which is a high weight. You need to curl. You need to be curling outside in, and then it'll lever over. If he's getting that
Need to be outside in, or could he do that?
That's what I'm looking right now.
I think inside out, but I don't know. I'm not. Don't ask me.
That's gonna be this way.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is the correct. I think this is the correct gearing. I always get this weird in my head when I'm not literally standing there. So this is gonna be a right-hand in-turn. Right? No, it's an out-turn, never mind. Which means that after the hit,
showing the last red coming in on sheet A, so yellow has hammer sitting 1.
okay, here comes the stone. Is it gonna sufficiently cross? It's got the hit part, now it's just nosy. That's not enough to even roll in to be shot. So was that yellow's, was that last, was that the hammer? That was hammer, so red steals 1. Was hammer, red steals 1. Are we throwing the 7th? Looks like he's trying. He's going to be down 3, 7-4 with hammer. So he's got that going for him, which is nice.
And we're not at the cutoff time yet, so.
Nope, so he can definitely throw it, but they've only got 12 minutes to play the end if they want to have an 8th. That seems unlikely, so this is going to be the last end. You can play a game in less than or an end in less than 12 minutes. I've seen it done, but probably not at this level. I mean, I've seen an end played in 2 minutes, but the two teams were both like, let's just get this thing over with.
Switch to watch the hammer on sheet A.
It's coming in. He's trying to.
Nope. Nothing.
Well, he wanted to roll in for a second,
yeah,
so just yellow 1. Yellow 1? Yes.
Yep.
So coming in the 8th, Team O'Reilly's going to be up 5-2. So Omelette You Hit and Roll is going to need to manufacture a 3 if they want to tie that game. There's a degree of probably not, but hey, 3 is possible. 3 is a thing that can be done. It hasn't been done yet this game by either team, but a 3 is not out of reach.
Here we go.
It is, however, going to be a rarity in the Spiel, a game that goes to the 8th end. Not just because of either score or time. Pretty much every game to this point has not made it 8.
Yeah, I haven't seen any. Okay. think the games will probably be a little tighter as we move on to the higher rounds, I guess.
So yeah, so that is 5 and under Bonspiels. You get a very wide range of talent. You get teams who they're like, hey, this curling thing is fun. Let's go to a Bonspiel.
That's kind of my team.
Yeah. Although you guys handled your first game very well. Well done.
Yeah.
And then you do get some teams that are like, hey, we want to qualify for nationals. And when one of those teams from Category A plays one of those teams from Category B, yeah, it can get a little. We'll just leave it at that. But I'm going to guess that probably just about all of that's going to be dealt with by the end of the day today, because I think we've got 2 more draws today?
Yep.
Okay, so just about everybody will have played 2 games by the end of the day today. So the teams that are still in the running for nationals will be in kind of like the final 8, yeah, actually. So we'll be down to, the teams will, the way these tournaments work, the teams almost always stratify nicely. So once you get to that 3rd draw or so, you have games where teams are generally evenly matched unless there's been a significant upset, which does happen sometimes. And just a reminder for those viewers who may miss the beginning of the game, this is the Potomac Brunch Spiel. These are these teams' first round games. They're in the skinnier section of the draw. There's 24 teams in this draw. So these guys are effectively in the round of 16, basically, as their first game. And what they're playing for is the team that wins this Bonspiel, if they are not already qualified, receive a qualification spot to the USCA Under 5 Nationals, which will be held out on the West Coast later this season. There is at least one team here who has already qualified, team from Potomac. So if one of those teams happen to win, the team that comes in second, as I understand it, gets the spot. I'm not 100% sure that's true, but that's what I've been told, so I believe it's true. And this event is sponsored by the United States Women's Curling Association, a group within U.S. curling that is dedicated to promoting diversity and inclusion in underrepresented communities in the game. Primarily females, that's been what they've been for most of their life, but they've also expanded to other underrepresented communities over the past several years. And one of the ways that they choose to do that is just general Grow the Game initiatives, which includes the Under 5 Bonspiels being open events, so you don't have to be a team of 4 women, even though it's sponsored by the USWCA. It's an open event. You can do any format you want. We do see a fairly reasonable leavening of females through the teams, which is great to see. There are a couple of teams in the draw who are actually 100% female, and they actually were playing the previous draws and played pretty effectively, pretty well.
A comment from Jake, I think nationals are in Minnesota.
Minnesota, okay, that's out west. In my world, that's out west.
West of us.
It's the west coast of the Great Lakes, that's what I meant. Why did I think it was in California? I don't know, it doesn't matter. Okay.
It was last year. It was California. I think the last 2 years. Last 2 years, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe that's why I think it was California. Okay. Regardless, they're fighting for a trip to a national event with uniforms and time clocks and all of that kind of fun stuff.
And big money.
Absolutely no money. If anything, they get the opportunity to pay big money to go to nationals because you have to register for it, you have to pay a fee.
And you got to get your uniforms.
And you got to get uniforms. Now, admittedly, a lot of these teams already seem to have that under control. Not all of them, but a good number of the teams already seem to have that under control. Now, whether their uniforms meet the national standards, that's a legit question. But that is the problem that the winning team will deal with starting on Sunday afternoon. As the Potomac Junior team that won the Triangle Junior Brunch Spiel last weekend has been doing all week.
Yep.
This is a plug for them. If you happen to be from Potomac or any other club wanting to support junior curling, the Potomac team that did qualify for Junior Nationals last week is working on their uniform fund. If you're interested in donating to that, it is not tax deductible or anything, but if you're interested in donating some to help some kids get some solid uniforms together for their national appearance at Broomstone's Country Club this April, make a note on the chat and we will make sure that somebody gets you information on how to do that. They would be very appreciative.
Well, I guess this is Hammer on sheet C.
Hammer in the 7th end on its way down. And it is
almost
not enough. Yellow steals one.
Two.
Two?
I believe
two?
that's two. Yes, that's two.
It's at least one. It's certainly one. I feel like that red is closer, but I wouldn't complain if I measured that. Okay, you can't use your broom like that because it's not. They're gonna get a stick. They gotta get the measuring stick out. I feel like they should, if there's any question. And so even though the clock is still running, they have finished the 7th end officially. So depending on, they've got a result.
I pointed at the yellow. So
They pointed at the yellow, so 2 yellow. So that's 9-6, and they're on time. They get to throw the 8th end. Yellow is going to be in a situation where they got to steal 3 coming home, but you'd rather have to steal 3 coming home than have conceded the game. That would be Waffle House. Throw it is ahead of the Broomies from Broomstones, 9-6. So the next game that's likely to finish an end over here is, well, hard to say. Might be the game on sheet A, might be the game on sheet B. Both of the games are in their final end. Sheet A is in the 8th. Sheet B is going to run out of time here in 3 minutes, so this is going to be their last end.
Yeah, so Mindy says thanks for the junior.
For the sheet plug? Yeah, no problem. You'll get my bill, Mindy.
Nationals are in Hibbing, Junior Nationals, Broomstones.
I'm expecting a commission. I'm joking.
And Mindy put in a plug to donate to the PCC team to help defer their costs.
Yep.
And Hart Allen. What, I don't get a heart too?
You get one from me, Ken, because I can't work that thing. I tried once. It was a disaster.
I'm just glad our sound delay issue isn't presenting itself again.
All right, so we are getting down to the nitty-gritty on sheet A. Actually, both of our games, sheet A and sheet B, are getting down to the nitty-gritty. Let You Hit and Roll is down 3 with Hammer, so they got that going for them, which is nice. But they've got to get a 3, and I think they've only got 3 stones left, so that's a problem. No, I'm wrong. They've got 4 stones left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they've still got 3 stones to deliver, and they've got 1 in the house currently scoring. So they still have the potential to get what they need, but they are rapidly running out of material. And over here on sheet B, yellow is also rapidly running out of material. That tapped it. It did not take it out on A. Red is still lying the 1. Did it even roll to the point where it may even roll to the point where it's still...
I got it on here, Alan.
You got it on here, Alan? Yay, okay. And yep, the red is actually behind cover still. It rolled it to behind cover. That was convenient. So Paul Luthi is asking his vice. Who is his vice? I can't see that far. Is that Jamie? That is Jamie. Jamie Belafontaine to deliver another stone behind the guard line. stones coming in. The weight feels good. The line
Yeah, a
feels
little heavy. It's coming back.
Yeah, the line is also not adequate. Still second shot, so it's got that going for it, but it's pretty open and exposed, which is problematic.
Yep, considering they were down. If they were up, that wouldn't be a bad place. So when you're down.
But they've including those 2 stones that are currently shooting, they've got 4 stones, and they've got to make 3 points. So they can only afford to lose 1 more, and one of those is exposed right now. So, problem. And we are coming down to final vice stones here on B.
I thought they made a decision. They kind of, but now, oh, no, I guess they just walked to take a look from the last to hog line.
Right.
So they're still looking.
He needs, second breakfast needs to make 3 out of his 3 remaining stones as well. Yeah. He's got one in the house that could conceivably count.
Yeah,
it's successfully deal with that red.
Like you want to hit the red and roll in, but you can't do that without jamming under yellow.
Yeah. So, okay, here comes yellow on sheet A. He's looking to get rid of one of those reds. Is he past the top guards? Yes, he is. That's going to take out one of those reds, roll the button. He's exposed on the button. He doesn't care. It's all about getting rid of reds. So what Jamie and Paul are thinking about doing is taking that yellow out, trying to roll to against or behind the guard on the other side of the sheet.
But not too far,
but
where
not
the yellow
too
would be
far.
out counting.
You need to, they need to remain in the 8-foot, fully in the 8-foot. Which is fine because the guard that is on the right is guarding the full 8-foot, so that's not a problem. They just got to get the weight exactly right to leave it where it needs to be. All right, so Paul's got his shot lined up. Jamie's got the broom down, getting ready to do things. They're going down. And the game on C is still relatively high in their 8th end. They still got a ways to go. Yellow has one in the back of the house. There's a pretty strong guard line in the front there, so it's not out of reach, especially if this red stone is as heavy as I think it is. All right, over on sheet A, Paul Luthie's stone is on its way. He pretty much has to make this hit and stick or else it's probably game over. They're sweeping it crazy hard. It's a line check. Ticks that top guard. He needs to stick or this game is over. It rolls too far. That is game due to material. So a valiant effort, but Let You Hit and Roll from Potomac comes up just short against Team O'Reilly. Ash Ardsley Granite, final score 5-2.
So they didn't throw all the stones. That's where the last end doesn't count.
Yep, last end is it. Last end is considered an X. It's game. It's result due to material is how they officially refer to it. I don't know why they just do it. Over on sheet C, the Broomies were trying to bring one into the house. They left it ridiculously short. I mean, that's a solid 10 feet short of the house. That's problematic. That may be the final straw that breaks the camel's back and lets Waffle House put that game to bed.
So what do you think the call is here on sheet B?
Okay, I don't see the. Do I have a house shot? Yeah, there it is.
Trying to raise
frankly,
red
put one.
up.
Frankly, put one on the. Put one.
Raise
the center line red to the button. I think.
Or just a guard.
I'm not sure what you guard there. So.
Yeah, I don't know either. Guarding some strange run back double.
Okay, the shot from Waffle House is now shot. Okay, that did not accomplish much over there on sheet B. David Zimmerman is in trouble, but it's not inescapable yet. He does not have hammer. Is that true? That is true. He's throwing his first skip stone. He could conceivably lay 3 after this if he picks that red out and leaves the shooter in. And really, they're not in horrible positions if he can do that. But that's not what he's looking at. I don't know why. Unless he's planning on getting that later. Okay, the Broomies have done a very nice freeze to the red in the back. Yeah, Broomies on sheet C, lie 1. They are starting to run out of stones too. They've thrown 6 of theirs. They need to make 3 points. 3 points? Yes, they need to make 3 points out of their basically 3 remaining. Well, that yellow in the back 12 could conceivably score. So they've got 4 stones available to try to score 3. Waffle House is trying to just kind of draw in. They would probably like to draw into the button, that neighborhood. Are they past the top guards yet? They are not. They're going to wreck on that guard. How much are they going to promote that guard? That's my question. They promoted it. I think that might be touching the... probably not.
No,
probably just
not.
short. Okay. But yellow is in a situation where all they got to do to be laying 3 is a solid tap on that yellow. Do they want to do that yet, or do they want to do that? Oh, it's their last stone, isn't it? No, it's not. They got 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they have 1 more. But it looks like they want to get it done now. That makes sense.
Before another guard magically appears.
Right. Don't always assume that the shot that you need will be available to you later. So Mark Zimmerman is taking a good hard look-see at what he can do in this situation. He has 3 available stones. He also has 4 potential scoring stones to score 3. So he's trying to figure out how to make something out of this also. Both team yellows are in the same situation. Chasing 3s without hammer. Yellow is throwing theirs. They wreck on that top guard. That's okay. I mean, that doesn't take them out of the game because yellow could still conceivably get their 3, but they're going to have to be in a situation where they're going to have to hit that yellow in the back of the 8 to tap that red out and have that result in 3. So all Waffle House really needs to do is put a scoring stone anywhere not there, and that'll take care of that proposition. So the team is taking a good hard look at their various options for how to accomplish that task. They're looking for something in draw space. That makes sense. One thing you don't want to do in this, but you really don't want to try to guard, because if you mess the guard up, you're making the shot way too easy. So put a scoring. Basically, if they put a stone in the 4-foot, it's game over. And while they're lining that up, David Zimmerman, I've been doing that all game, my apologies, is getting ready to line up not his final stone, his next to last stone, but he needs to be in a pretty good position after this to have any significant opportunity at winning this game. So it looks as though he is attempting to pop out that annoying red stone, and he wants to roll to be 3. That last red stone of the game is coming in. It's not the last red stone of the game, is it? No, it's not. It's his first skip. He's coming in. All right, both stones are in motion at once. Mark's stone's going faster. It's going to make contact first, so we'll follow that one first. He's coming in, pops that, chips his own out. That's actually, well, yeah, that's game. He can't win now. He doesn't have enough to do. That's game over. They may not realize it, but he can't get 3 out of this. There's no possible way. And at the same time, the red stone came in on sheet C. The red stone came in and is not shot, but it is cutting that back 12-1 out. So yellow, in order to make 3 out of this. I don't know if they can. Wait a minute, never mind. Oh yeah, no. Yellow's getting ready to throw their last.
Oh, so there are handshakes on sheet B.
And yeah, okay, so David came to the realization that he can't get there and shook that game, so that brings that over. So Stiemmenwafle defeats Second Breakfast 7-4. So now here on C, Yellow has to be lying 3 at the end of this, or it is game over. I don't see how they do. All that they can do is some sort of miraculous raise, bump, raise, hit. That would take all of it. And this is wide and fast, and it's not going to touch anything, I don't think. Okay, it's going to chip that, but that's not enough to make a difference. Especially once he sweeps it past. It's fine. Yellow lies 1. They need 3. That's ball game. Game over on sheet C. The Waffle House defeats the Broomies 9-6. Actually, technically, that score is 9-7. Broomies. Oh no, Waffle House has a stone throw. So yeah, 9-6 is the final score. There. So that brings us to the end of that. Hope you've had a wonderful time listening. As much fun as we've had presenting it to you. Ken, you want to bring up all the final scores there so we can run down it and shut this thing out?
Sure.
Plus, our coordinator would like to sing. All right, on sheet A, Team O'Reilly defeats Let You Hit and Roll 5-2. On sheet B, Stiemmenwafle beats Second Breakfast 7-4. Sheet C, Waffle House over Broomies 9-6. And sheet D, Team Skebby defeats Stroopwafle 9-1. All right, we'll be back for the next draw when that happens. It'll be different commentators. My day's done. So hope you had a wonderful time. Until then, I'm Alan McNeil with
Ken Clark, and my day's not done. I'll be out on the ice in the next draw.
All right, well, good luck with that game, and otherwise, we'll talk to you all later. Thank you very much, and have a good night.
Watch me on sheet C. Bye.
Diet Pepsi. A very expensive Diet Pepsi. They're $2 here. That's how I started my day as soon as we got here. There you go. No, I mean, overall, we